Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm SimmingInOz, and today we're doing something a little bit Instagram. So I've been going over in my head for a while through this Harry Potter save about the kids. You know, you've got the main cast, and they do start out as children. And you've got, Harry, Hermione, Ron, Neville, Luna, Jenny, Malfoy and all of his gang, and they're children in the save, and I thought that was just completely fine. But then there's not much customization with children. It's all very basic. They all look like little mini potatoes and you can't really differentiate them that much. There's so much more fun to play with when they've actually aged up and everything. So I decided I was going to give myself a little project. I'm going to age up all of the main child cast of Harry Potter, and I'm going to give them an Instagram makeover. So what that means is they won't look like their movie counterpart so much. They won't even look like the book counterpart. They will be pale imitations of what they're meant to look like, except super pretty and stylish, and basically what you'd see as the fanon version of them. So basically the fandom has taken them and they've made them super glitz and glam, very fan art edit kind of versions of themselves. And honestly, the kind of versions of themselves I imagine when I'm, say, reading fan fiction or anything like that. So it's just, they're still pretty versions. So as we're starting out with the boy himself, the lovely Harry. I love Harry so much. He's a sweetheart. And I really wanted to harken back to the notion that his family has roots in India, so I decided to give his complexion a little bit of a mix-up kind of thing. He started out pale, but now he's got more of a lovely darker tone to him. And I feel like it just makes him look quite more, I don't know, himself, I suppose. It's a very fan-centered idea that Harry is partly Indian, so I did lean into that slightly, and I decided to give him a little bit of stubble. If I had to date when I've dated these characters, it's sort of like, this is more of their, if they're children, they're starting out in their first year, that's that. But as adults, they're more of leaning towards the end of their war era. So they're quite haggard, they're quite tired looking, but they're also quite stylish and grown up and, old enough to be considered adults, I suppose, in the magical world. So that's where I'm dating these characters. As for Harry himself, he's a jock. There's no other way to get around it. This guy is a jock through and through. He's a bit neglected and abused and everything, but overall, he's captain of the sports team, legendary rich, and he marries his high school sweetheart. So, man's a jock. So, I'm giving him Converse ripped jeans, and I decided to just go for a very basic guy who's sort of trying to be stylish and everything. For his formal wear, I did lean into his Indian heritage a little bit, so I did give him some very nice robes that I thought doubled as magical robes. And then for the rest of it, it's just, your basic guy outfits. So it's a little bit muggle, it's a little bit magical, and he sort of keeps his jeans, very generic sneakers, very lovely sweaters all throughout. I decided to give him an emerald green jumper, which I thought was really cute because he does look so lovely in green. And as for his personality, I did give him, I think, adventurous and loyal, I think, is very much his cup of tea. And I wish I could go back and give him, I did go back and give him a proper scar actually. I might go back and give him a tattoo kind of scar just so it's a little bit more accurate with the new pack, but otherwise he's a sweetie. I love him. And now we move on to Miss Hermione Granger. I wanted her to take over the aspect of big hair, a little bit bookish, but a little bit still practical and stylish. So when we first saw child Hermione, she's got her, her layers, her skirts, her boots, and her practical shoes and everything. And I think I wanted to carry that over. So she's got the freckles, she's got the brown eyes, but also they all have this Instagram eyebrows, and I also made sure to give absolutely everyone that little highlight on their forehead down their nose just to make them look extra shiny. And if my characters aren't wearing lipstick, then they're sort of wearing a type of lipstick that could pass as natural lip color, and then some contouring and everything. It's supposed to look natural, but it's not. It's like the comparison between what guys think natural looks like and what natural actually looks like kind of thing. So yeah, they're all basically models. and it's very much coming through in their eyebrows. All I had to do really was Google Harry Potter cast fan art, and I just picked the first one and went, yep, that's it. That's exactly what I was imagining. I did keep Hermione's hair very thick, curly, luscious. I didn't want to take away her curls because there's so many long hairstyles that do have a slight wave, but I don't feel like they encapsulate Hermione's beautiful, thick, curly hair, so I wanted to keep that. I did give her thigh-high socks, but I also gave her stockings as well. I wanted to keep her in a skirt with practical shoes, but in no way is it meant to be, I suppose, provocative or revealing. It's just the way she dresses. So she does have a sweater on top. She does have nails as well. So her nails are elongated, but they're not fashionable, kind of painted kind of thing. They look like natural, just long nails. And then as for the rest of her, I really do love her sweater. I think it's very her. I think it's a little smidge oversized and it's a little bit muggle. I tried to keep the muggle influence throughout Hermione's wardrobe as well. And then as for her formal wear, of course, I did the periwinkle blue formal outfit that she would have worn to the Yule Ball because everyone missed out and everyone wants to have that blue dress back. So I decided to give her a curly updo with a beautiful blue dress. I wanted something just a little bit more flowier and sparkly, but I felt like this blue was just absolutely perfect for what I was imagining the blue to look like. So I just went with this and it turned out fine. And then for the rest, it's very practical, little muggle influences. So like her athletic wear is something that you would maybe see in the 80s and 90s. It's like that spray jacket kind of thing with some coloured leggings, and it's all very pastels and everything. It's coming back into fashion now because of the 30 rule nostalgia rules, so I do like that. And then the rest is just lovely Hermione and everything, and I think it's so fun. I always make sure to make sure their pajamas are practical, so they're wearing slippers, they're wearing not nightgowns or anything, but just because I know Harry, Ron and Hermione spend a lot of time sneaking out, so obviously they'd probably be doing so in their pajamas, so I wanted to keep it practical. They're ready to jump out of bed and go exploring Hogwarts any moment. And then we move on to Mr. Ronald Weasley. Now, I have thoughts about this. The movies did this boy dirty. In the books, Ron is described as tall, loyal, very funny, very, I suppose, he's got his flaws, but the Ron in the books, especially the later books, and the Ron in the movies, especially later movies, are basically different people. Like, they may look the same, but no, you know what I'm talking about. They basically gave Hermione all of Ron's great moments, and they really made Ron he never really grew out of his jealous sidekick kind of persona until maybe the second to second last movie or the last movie. He didn't really come good until right at the end, and I really don't like that they did that. It's like, come on guys, this is Ron. So yeah, I did try to make him just a little bit more whimsical and just mischievous and funny looking, I suppose. Like, he looks like he's got a sense of humor other than being bitter and jealous like in the movie counterpart, so we did try there. I also struggled to find him a hairstyle that wasn't, a copy of his brother's hairstyle, because he's got a few brothers and they're taking up all the good hairstyles, so I did have to find him something that was a little bit wavy, very different from movie Ron, and quite attractive, but still, he looks like a good lad. And then for his clothes, the Weasleys obviously have a set colour palette, so it's all very earth tones, greens, browns, creams and everything. I kept that, and then I made his wardrobe quite baggy, it's a sort of muggle influence there, but there's still a little bit of a wizarding aspect. I do find that the Weasleys wear a lot of corduroy and linen blends and everything, so I wanted to take that across. And his shoes as well look quite worn and everything, and he's just, he's rocking it really. I do wish we had gotten height sliders so I could make him extra tall, because he is noted as being quite tall in the books, quite much taller than Harry, who's a poor neglected shorter guy. Bless his heart. So yeah, I think Ron turned out lovely, but I think they all turned out really great. I will be doing Ginny, Neville and Luna next, and then in the last Instagram video I will be doing Pansy, Blaze and Malfoy as that last little trio. So you have three separate trios and they've all got their place within the series, and I don't know, maybe I'll add them into the save, just walking around just to fill up the numbers a bit. There'll be doubles of them, but it's okay. It's okay. That's fine. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed it. And the other 2 trio videos should be out soon. But thank you so much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic day, okay? Bye-bye.